Hello, my name is Ryan. I'm going to be painting this morning. So I have the skateboard that I thought was finished, and then I looked at it some more and I was like, you know what? No, it's not done. In fact, it's just probably going to be started over entirely. And just keep painting on it until I absolutely love it. Like these guys. Like these three these three and that one hanging up over there. Those are the only ones that are now officially done. Those two, I don't know if I'm going to sand them down or paint over. Don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I want to talk this morning about a ridiculous video I just watched. I'm horrible with names, so I want to make sure I get this correct. Estepario Siberiano. Love that guy. I've been following him for a while. I'm just bad with names. But he put out a video, or at least put out a video yesterday. How much money do I make on social media after 10 years? And it's like, I'm very curious. It's like, I'm not doing this channel to monetize anything. If anything, it's more like maybe somebody will kick down some paint. That would be wonderful. But, that was a bad one to hold up. I should hold these up. Anyway. It was fascinating because it's like, you break it down. It's like, if you just run the numbers without taking in consideration of anything, he's making a decent amount, especially since he's like the most popular drumming YouTuber. And the amount of content he creates is insane. But after everything was said and done, like, dang. I mean, due to copyright issues, because that in the country he lives in and the tax rates, is interesting because after all, like, the platforms basically just ended up making as much as I do at my normal job, which is weird because you'd expect somebody like him with like billions, 1.4 or 1.14 billion views, with an RPM of $3 per 1,000 views, you'd expect him to have more. But then he was going over the taxes in Spain where he lives. It's like, oh my goodness, I just paid my taxes. And I thought we were paying something ridiculous. 35%. And it's just staggering to think, like, the amount that I pay in taxes, I mean, basically ended up making about the same amount before tax. And it's like, I hope the amenities in Spain and the cost of living is a lot better. I hope healthcare isn't as crazy expensive out of pocket after paying all those taxes. Because damn, that's insane. 35%. I would highly encourage you or anybody who's interested in that aspect of YouTube, because I'm curious. Like, for me, the whole reason I'm doing YouTube is because I figured out a while ago is, as long as you're posting something you're already doing and enjoying, and there's zero monetizing like incentive, you're just kind of out there looking for an audience and looking for a little bit of appreciation, sharing what you create because you're proud of it, or you have a high opinion of yourself and like to hear your voice, etc., etc. Because like for me, I don't know, I've always been thinking like, how do people do that on YouTube? And I think it comes down to the quality of content that you create, the type of content that you create, how frequently you upload, etc. And then there's like there's different scales in my brain, like that I've kind of formulated. So, like for me, since I don't do any sort of editing, I don't think about any of this shit before I do it. I just do it because I enjoy it. The upload schedule would have to be just saturation. Nobody watches this more than 2 minutes. So it's just a matter of clicks and whatnot. Occasionally get a good comment. And it'll spark some thought. And it's funny, he mentioned it, like in his solutions part, where he's like, it wouldn't be an issue if he was a fitness influencer. Which, you know what, dude, you should probably try that. Like, supplement that shit. I know I made the mistake of showing one of your videos to a woman I was dating. Ugh, that was uncomfortable. Don't ever want to do that. Anyway. Because, yeah, when it comes down to it, anything involving the arts doesn't sell. It doesn't actually generate money. The people who are making all the products and promoting the culture, it's much like skateboarding. For the most part, it's going to be mom and pop shit. The overhead's going to be low unless it's a big corporation. It's been established for centuries. Or century whatever. I can imagine it being exceptionally difficult in the drumming sphere. Because drums are one of those things you don't really have to replace that often. I mean, other than heads, cymbals, and sticks, eventual warpage of the shells. But I don't imagine... I have seen some pretty interesting drum kits. But, like, being a guitarist and bassist, like, I don't know. I feel like drums fall in the bass category. Whereas, like, it's a tool. And it doesn't really matter which one it is as long as it's set up right. You know? But, like, with guitar, total nerd fest. Oh, my shit. The amount of money I've wasted on guitars over the years. I've had so many, and I'm down to basically that one and my acoustic because I realized one, I don't know, guitars have such character. Currently resisting the urge to buy one because I have several projects to throw together, but I digress. I don't imagine drums being like guitars, where there's just something where you just, I don't know, there's something about guitars that makes you want to buy all of them. Like, they definitely all have their own unique voice. And I was surprised basses, not so much. And they do, but they don't. Like, there's some basses where you pick it up and go like, oh, you got some soul. But it's not dependent on who made it, how old it is. The quality of woods. It's just there's something about bases when you find a good one. Like my best base, that guy over there, and got it for $40 on Shop Goodwill. In fact, there's a video kind of going over it. Wonderful base. Uh-oh. Forgot there's paint down there. And the only other bass that I've really played that's better than that, it's like a 64P bass. Which is funny because you go from $40 Yamaha student P bass knockoff type thing to $12,000 1964 pre-CBS. Just gorgeous. Like that one. If I could, I would. Actually, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably still end up buying a guitar instead. I don't know, that 64P bass was nice. Anyways, painting. But like I was saying, like there's, when it comes down to like music stores and music companies, there's probably only a handful and that can pay their artists what they deserve, especially when you take into account like the amount of views that he generates. He's generating a ton of income, and I'm sure there's probably spreadsheets out there that show because of Estepario drumming, people are getting into drums. Like there's no way he hasn't had that effect. I mean, for fuck's sake, I even have a drum kit because I started watching that guy. Well, it's in pieces, and it's just like somebody was throwing stuff out, and I was like, oh, hey, I can cobble that together. Have some fun, make some noise. But like, if I wasn't that encouraged to try to cobble together a drum kit from watching this guy, there's plenty of kids out there who now have a drum kit because they saw this guy. I think the answer would be you need to move to the States, sadly, but I would not encourage that right now. Holy shit. That sucks. Because when it comes down to the arts and actually getting the support you need, whether it be like music, sports, whatever, it does kind of, well, skateboarding does rely on coming to the States. Yeah, current events, I would not. I just wouldn't. I mean, today I just watched. No, not today. Last night, saw 5 different people who've been detained for visa issues that should have just been pushed aside and just allowed to continue on with their lives. But no, a week to 2 weeks in a detention center. The fuck? And somebody brought up the meeting. They have quotas to meet. Which that makes sense. He was definitely saying, I want to deport X amount of people as soon as possible. So it tracks that they would give him quotas and be hard on him to meet it. And I don't know about y'all, but quotas in law enforcement in any sense just seems like a very bad idea. It incentivizes the officer to really stretch. It's like, oh no, I gotta meet a quota. It's very obvious with CHP. I remember when gas prices first went over $4 and everybody was coping. You'd never see any police officers out on the highways, no CHP, until that last week of the month. And then you're like, oh, yeah, quotas. In my experience, it also makes it so people get pulled over for no reason. It's like, I'm thinking of one specific incident happened on Mother's Day a few years back on the highway, and this CHP truck kept on tailgating me. Like, full on, I could only see his logo, the logo of the truck in my rear view, and it was very uncomfortable, so I changed lanes to get out of his way. So he pulled me over for tailgating. It was like one of the... But I think he did not expect me to be driving because I was in a tinted Nissan Altima. And then all of a sudden, backpedaling, and then you get a fix-it ticket to remove the tint. That was legal tint. Quotas are bad. Unless he was pulling me over thinking that he'd get an arrest. Because, I mean, I feel like the 2010s Altimas are the new late 90s black Civics. Or that being an issue. It'd be like, oh, there's a black Honda Civic or Accord with tinted windows. Pull it over. My adopted mom used to have one. She'd get pulled over on a regular basis because they thought, they would automatically assume something. Like, I remember being in the car once and she got pulled over for running a stop sign that didn't exist. And when the cop rolled up, he was so shocked to see her. And it's funny. There's a lot of people that just refuse to accept that shit exists, all that stereotyping, and pulling people up just because they assume there's a certain person of a certain ethnic group. Like, I was just having a conversation about a month ago with a teacher. It's like, the differences between skin tone and police reaction. And he's like, well, I like cherry picked videos too. And it's like, I'm not talking about cherry picked videos. It's like, I think we've all seen enough videos to where we can say it's not cherry picked. And two, my own personal experience. I know people who have done the right thing, been very respectful, and still got shafted. Because, I don't know, my first experience with cops was they thought I was Hispanic. It was just like an instant run up. Because, granted, they didn't use any sort of discernment or try to address me. It was just a call for a Hispanic man. And I was the only person in the area. And they just jumped my ass. Slammed me to the ground. Very shocking. And then they realized, oh, not Hispanic man. They were so apologetic. But it was just weird because there was zero notification. They didn't say anything. They didn't say put my hands behind my head. They didn't say shit. It was just instantly on the ground. And slammed fucking hard. All my other interactions with police officers, far more pleasant. But doesn't mean I haven't actually witnessed it not being pleasant for other people doing the exact same thing I would do. I don't know why I got tangented onto that one. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Current events has got to the point where it seems like if you really want to cash out in any sort of art form, you have to move to the States. Especially if it's an art form that revolves around entertainment. And then since I was recommending that don't anybody come to the States, that's just not advisable at the moment. And it especially seems bad for anybody who has an accent, slightly melanated and tattooed. Melanated. Is that even a thing? I don't know. That's like one of those things that's just funny. It's like my go-to whenever I hear about anybody like, oh, the white race is superior. Like, really go out in the sun for 2 hours. Have fun. Let's just explain that to my kid, because my kid is very dark-skinned. And he's having a lot of issues lately because this orange buffoon that's in office empowering all these fucking racist pieces of shit. Therefore, it's starting to do a trickle down. So I had to remind him, people who are racist recognize that they're inferior to you. That's why they're racist. They can't handle the fact that you are better. There is something about your genetics that make you able to handle more situations. Period. Best example. Going out in the sun. Kind of jealous. I have to wear, actually, I don't wear sunscreen. I just end up with all kinds of sun damage. So, melanomas eventually. But you don't have to trip on that. And like I was trying to remind him, it's like, at the end of the day, if you get in a conversation or somebody's like talking about race or whatever, it's like, remind them that there's only one. It's the human race. And from there's a bunch of subsets. It's like, I don't know why human beings can't freaking see that. It's like, there's all kinds of different cats and dogs. All kinds of snakes and mice and rats and things. It's like, but you have like the hierarchy and then the subsets. It's like human beings, different flavors of human beings. And those different flavors give us all different things that we have to offer the world. Different perspectives. It's almost like if we all came together, we might be able to do some good. Having some Captain Planet vibes going on in my brain. It could just be the 80s optimism of my youth. Anyways. I am done with this for the time being. It's like, I love this color. I just don't love the way it goes on. Very paint stroke heavy. Like, this makes me want to sand it down. Anyways, yeah. If you're an American who hates the fact that you just did your taxes and ate a lot less than you wish and are a little frustrated, watch Estepario Saberiano's channel on how much he made and how much he gets taxed. Trust me, you're going to be feeling grateful. Hot damn. And Estepario, name. Fancy drummer guy. I managed to say your name a couple times. If you see this part, thank you. You're awesome. And I had a question, but when I tripped over my tongue, it completely went away. Oh, I know what it is. What's the cost of living like there? Like, what's your monthly expenses and outside of that? Because, like, in the States, that's nowhere near enough to survive on. Like, nowhere near. That's insane. Like, the amount of taxing. Anyways, I need to stop and go do stuff. I need to stretch. My back is starting to bug. Anyways, hope you all have a good day. Yeah.